Hello, good morning, good morning. It is 11:15 and it is so cold here. I think it's about 12 degrees outside if I'm trusting my iPhone. Welcome to the podcast. If you're new, my name is Brooklyn. So pleased to have you here. And today it's just going to be a short one because in half an hour I'm going for a drive down to gorgeous Sorrento. So Sorrento is on the coast here in Victoria, Australia, and there's a beautiful back beach down there. Plus, there's a really awesome deli, and now there's a really awesome sushi shop. So I'm going to go down there, get some lunch, take mum out for a drive, get her out and about for a bit. I keep this one short for you. But here's the thing. Lots is happening in our world at the moment, and I just want to bring it back to this theme of winter. So, what's happening is some people are saying, oh, I just feel sort of overwhelmed with everything. There's so much going on, which, by the way, I did hear this, and it's not the first time that I've heard it. But don't look at me and think that you need to be doing what I'm doing. By that, I mean, I do a lot of stuff, but there are reasons why I do a lot of stuff. Number one, I'm able to because I don't have a partner. I don't have little ones running around. I don't have grown adult children. I'm pretty much free and easy. And I'm just looking after Gabe, which is pretty easy to do. Like, he just sticks with me the whole time, all day, every day. And I look after my mum, and, she takes care of herself most of the time. So I've got more time than many people do, right? I'm not out of the house. I'm not, running errands. I'm not doing all of those things. I'm very lazy. In fact, I get everything delivered. I get my shopping delivered. I get my dry cleaning delivered. I get everything delivered. I've got it figured out. So when you see that I'm running a whole lot of different groups and I'm doing all kinds of different things, please don't feel like, you're not, I don't know, living up to some expectation that you feel you should be because I'm doing all of this sort of stuff. It's nothing to do with that. Like, my circumstances are very different to yours. So don't worry about it. Like, comparing is never going to get us far. In fact, it causes all sorts of things like withdrawal, and we don't want to do that because when you're withdrawing from getting help or support, or you're withdrawing from your practice, or you're withdrawing from helping clients, or you're withdrawing from doing your marketing or something, the only people that miss out are you and your clients. Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. But the other thing too is some people are saying, you know what, my referrals are drying up at the moment and I'm not sure what to do, and I'm panicking and sort of getting a little bit nervous or maybe fearful around that and what it means. And I really just want to say, breathe. It is winter. Okay. So in Australia right now, it's winter. Literally, it's winter. But metaphorically and symbolically, winter means so much, okay? It means hibernating. So this is a time for you to step back, okay? Step back. It's going to be a quiet time in the business, and that's okay. Just allow it to be quiet and reframe. So from thinking about, attributing a meaning to the quietness as you must be doing something wrong, or there's nobody out there, or your fees are too high and that's why, it's nothing to do with any of that. We're going to change the meaning with reframing. And I just want you to think about an alternative meaning, right? So for me, when my business goes quiet, which it does, my business is like yours. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. There are periods in my business where I'm doing so well, financially, or with clients, or with outcomes, or with visibility, or with my marketing. There are absolutely times I'm doing so well, but there are other times I crash and burn. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard from anybody for weeks, or, what's going on with my marketing? Nobody's engaging, or no one's commenting, no one's reaching out. It's normal. It's part of business, and it's a sign that you're doing something right. Okay. It's unrealistic to expect that your business is always just going to be getting better and improving and more profitable. But your business is like life. It's not going to happen in a straight line. It's going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And that's okay. All right. And that's real. That's what business looks like. It's not a sign for you to panic. I would reframe it and just say, okay, this is business and it's a sign that I'm on the right track, because I know while I'm in the dip now, good things are on the horizon. So what am I going to do to bridge the gap between where I'm at now and this new horizon? And I would say, I can share with you what I'm doing, but I would also say for you, this is a time to slow down, to let go of control. I know that's a big one, isn't it? But let go of control. Like, what are you trying to hold on to that's slipping through your fingers and then making you feel fearful and anxious? And how would you feel if you just released your grip on that? Because here's the thing, you're not going to get more referrals by marketing or trying to get more from a place of lack and desperation and fear, because that's got an energy to it, and that energy is repellent. That's going to keep people away. When you're in that chasing energy, how am I going to get another client? How am I going to get another referral? How am I going to get this money in today? How am I going to be seen more? That's urgent energy, it's fear-based energy, it's survival energy, and it's just clients are going to say, no, I don't want to be around this energy, and they're not going to come, and you're going to get more of that because that's what you're putting out. So it feels counterintuitive and it feels counterproductive to kind of do the opposite and just accept it, like radical acceptance here, and just say, okay, it is what it is. It's quiet in my business right now. I've had quiet times before in my business, and then I've had times in my business where I was run off my feet and I didn't know how I was going to cope with all my referrals. This is just the cycle of business. So how could I make the most of this downtime? Right? How can I make the most of this downtime? What needs to happen? Now, one of the things that you might want to do is go in and update your Psychology Today profile, but do it well. And when I say that, I want to share with you, I'm not going to say names or anything like that, but I want to share with you, definitely go onto Google and Google your Psychology Today profile and see if it comes up. And this is important because if you're, thinking, where are the clients? I thought I've got a good Psychology Today profile, but it's not coming up. Just have a look, because it could be that there's an issue with your Psychology Today profile, even if you've been on it and you've been refreshing it regularly, which, by the way, you only need to refresh it once a month. So just choose a day. So the first of the month, that's the day I refresh my profile. If you do it more regularly than that, it doesn't give the algorithm time to see who's going to respond and who to show your profile to and stuff like that, and you'll miss out on referrals or inquiries. So only do it once a month, no more. But please just go and make sure that it's actually ranking. And this is important because if it's ranking, it's going to get seen more and you will get more inquiries, and vice versa. One of the things I noticed today when I was looking for somebody was they were using their business name and not their actual name on the Psychology Today profile. So let's say it was called, I don't know, Pink Rose Gold Triangle Counselling Services. That was what they were listing their business under on Psychology Today. But when I went to Google that person, the Psychology Today profile didn't even come up. I had to keep looking through page after page on Google, and still didn't come up, and then realize, it's because they haven't actually used their name, and I'm Googling this person by name. So it brings me back to, when we are in Private Practice 101 and we're talking about naming your practice, one of the best recommendations is to just use your name, because that's how people are going to search for you. So I was searching by name for this person, not by their business name, and I wasn't getting anything. So if that's you as well, you're in that position, that's fine. You can still have it in the business name, but go somewhere into the copy, where you can write your own stuff on the Psychology Today profile and put your name. Something like, hi, I'm Brooklyn Storme, right? And that way it will rank. So little things like that. And you know what? It's also an opportunity to have a look at what's been working for you and what hasn't. So I was talking to somebody else. She was sharing with me that, she's been getting inquiries through Google, through her, people Googling her business site or through her website, which is amazing. That's wonderful. And then, she was saying, I'm stressed about my marketing on my social, and I need to do this and I need to do that and and all the things. And then I said to her, how many inquiries did you get from your social media? And she's like, none. I said, you know what? Let's just forget social media then. For winter, let's just take social media off the plate, right? Go and deactivate your profile. Just put everything on pause there for a little bit and just focus on improving the website, improve the About Me section, improve the services section. If you want to get a blog up, do that. You don't have to, but blogs can help, but there's a strategy to blogging. So if you're not going to blog, that's fine. But do go in and make sure that you've got active links on your website, that you've got a book now button, all those kinds of things. So the other thing that is really special to me about winter is, even as I'm sitting here talking to you, I've got the heater on, but I'm still freezing, right? My little fingers are like ice. I'm still freezing, and it's making me, be nostalgic about campfires, and that then reminded me about how nice it is to warm up. And then I got the image of the fire, and then I wanted to share with you that the winter period can also be a time for you to not only let go of what's not working for you, but to reconnect with your passion, to reconnect with the things that set your soul on fire, that set your heart on fire, and really operate from that place. So this would be a really beautiful time for you to sort of sit down and say, right, I'm just going to reconnect with my big vision here, because do you know what? Your vision is always going to be changing. You might have worked on your vision when you first started the business, and you know what? Even if that was only 6 months ago, you've probably done PD since then. You've probably done other work since then. You've probably had new experiences since then, or new aha moments, light bulb moments, and you want to pivot the practice. Use this time to reconnect with your vision for the practice, okay? And really think about, if this practice got to meet all my values, my bright and shiny ones as well as my shadow ones, and I felt lit up, and I felt like my passion was on fire, like I was just this shining light, and I just, everyone that came in contact with me or my message or my emails or my website just felt the glow of the warmth of this passion that's ignited deep within me. What would I be doing? Who would I be being? How would I be showing up? All those kinds of things. They're all really important, and I know that we've spoken about them before. But we often don't give ourselves time to reconnect with our vision when we've got back-to-back appointments in the diary for weeks at a time. Yeah. So this is a time to do that. And also, the other thing that I'm reminded about when we're talking about winter is I'm watching this show at the moment on TV. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's called Alone, and it's a group of 10 people, and they get dropped on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, and the island is famous for being like low temperatures, and they've got black bears and cougars and wolves and an abundance of salmon and crabs and fish and stuff like that. But they drop these 10 people all within about 5 or so miles of each other around the coastline. They don't have contact with anyone. They're given training in how to record themselves on camera, and like with tripods and handheld cameras and headgear cameras and stuff like that. And they've got to record themselves surviving in the wild. And the thing is that the winner is the person who remains the longest on Vancouver Island. And I'm watching season 2 at the moment, and they're up to day 35, and there's 5 people left. Like 2 people tapped out pretty quickly because of the bears. They came right up to the tents, like they've got to make their own tents and all this sort of stuff anyway. But it's been interesting watching them because some of them are starting to have shifts now where they're saying, well, I don't actually want this to be like surviving. I want this to be wilderness living. And there's a difference, because when I'm trying to survive in the wild, that's fear-based and that's anxiety-driven, and I don't want to live like that. I want to live with nature, in accordance with nature. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my mindset and say, hey, I'm going to not see myself as trying to survive here. I'm going to see myself as, living in the wilderness, surviving, not surviving, but living in the wilderness. I'm going to do wilderness living. And those are the people who are doing the best. They're the ones who've adapted, who've done the reframe. And the thing that really struck me too was that they're realizing what they can live without, and they're realizing that when they come home, they're going to get rid of a lot of things because they just don't need them. They've had this real shift in terms of priorities and what's important to them, and they've reconnected with their values. And so it made me want to ask you, what are you holding on to that you may not be needing anymore in your private practice? Whether that's mindset stuff, like is there a belief you're holding on to that probably isn't doing you any favors at the moment that you could let go of? Is there junk? Like, I don't know, like I've got 3 old laptops and I use one, but I don't use the other 2, but they're like taking up space, and I just don't get a good feeling when I look at them. So I'm thinking, maybe I'll do something with those. Or do you need to tidy up your desktop? Do you need to go into Canva and make some nice folders? Do you need to go into Dropbox and sort out that? Do you need to go and, I don't know, like what can you let go of? Like I want to let go of putting pressure on myself to do things, stuff like that. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to that is making you feel really uncomfortable, or, whatever, it's just not a nice feeling. And ask yourself, what would be the easiest way to let go of this? Okay. So you're not holding on to it anymore. It's not holding you back from being the fullest embodiment of yourself as a therapist, as a private practice owner. I hope this is all making sense. It's really important to me to talk about some of this stuff because it's just not spoken about. And I get to hear the stories because I have one-on-ones with people like regularly, but people don't tend to talk about this in community. And I think that that's part of the problem. Everybody thinks that they're the only one. And I want you to know you're absolutely not. And that the winter time can be just as beneficial for your business as the spring with all the growth and the summer with all the abundance there. So every season is equally important. It's there for a reason. Like even I'm just looking out my garden window at the moment, and I can see that I've got all these deciduous trees and there are leaves on the ground and there's leaf litter everywhere. But you know what? My tree that I'm looking at now isn't having a panic attack because it's losing its leaves. It's not going, oh my gosh, how am I going to hold on to my leaves? How am I going to get more leaves? It's just accepting that this is the process of releasing, and it's just trusting that new leaves are going to come. And the tree actually looks pretty happy and calm. Oh, fun fact, I also learnt this while I was watching Alone. Did you know that in cold climates, if you spend time with a tree, like maybe you chop down trees to make yourself a log cabin or something like that, they act as thermal batteries and they release the heat that they've been storing over the years that they've been alive. Isn't that amazing? I never knew that. Yeah. So interesting. The other thing that I learned too while I was watching this show, another side note, was that when you have fun, when you play, it releases chemicals in your brain, neurotransmitters in your brain that unlock creativity and problem solving skills. So there's that as well. And I thought that this would be important to mention because I know when you're panicking about things being quiet in the business, one of the defaults is to do more stuff, to do more things and to clutch at more things and to grab more bright shiny objects. So I just wanted to share that with you because yeah, it's not true. What you do need to do, though, is step away from the computer, as much as it's hard to do, because it doesn't feel like it's the right thing. You feel like, I should be sitting in front of the computer. I should be posting more stuff. I should be, go away from the computer and go and play. And by play, like, do something that brings you joy, that makes you smile, that makes you laugh or have a bit of a giggle or something like that. And you watch, that's when the insights and the downloads will start dropping in pretty quickly. And then you'll suddenly know exactly what to do next for your private practice. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you that this is not a time to be worried. This is a time of acceptance. This is a time for you to nurture the business and for you to nurture yourself. Like, if your business was a person and you asked your business, what do you need from me right now? What would it say to you? That's a really good journal prompt, actually. If my private practice was a person and I asked this person, what do you need from me right now? What would the practice say? Or what would this person say? Would they say, I need you to leave me alone and give me some space because you've been a helicopter parent and you're smothering me and I can't grow while I'm being smothered? Or would it say, I don't need this, but I do need that. I need you to go and fix up the website. I need you to go and fix up all the broken links. I need you to go and check that none of the links are broken. I'm just saying that because Selena, my VA, found a broken link today on my website, so it's on top of my mind. Somebody was going to go and book in for a coaching package. And when they went to book in for it, it took them to the sales page for a different coaching package. So yeah, that's why it's on my mind at the moment. But anyway, I'm just going to leave it there, short and sweet. I've got 10 minutes to get changed, take care of Gabe, and then go and warm up the car. So I hope that you take something away from this. Sometimes short episodes are just as good as the long ones, but do have a go at that journal prompt and do let me know on Messenger how you go with it and what comes through for you. It's just a different perspective. And I think that's the theme for this episode today. Have a reframe. Nothing has any meaning until you attach a meaning to it, and you can choose the meaning that you want to attach to it. Okay, but you're right where you need to be. You're doing really, really well. You are supported. You've got all the communities. You've got Counsellors Connect Australia, Australian Counsellors in Private Practice Online, and then you've got your paid communities of Private Practice 101. You've got the Private Practice Inner Circle, etc., etc. There's an abundance of support. So reach out if you're needing it. That's what it's there for. Make use of it. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a beautiful day and stay lovely and warm. Bye. I hope that you loved this episode as much as I loved putting it together for you. To get more resources to help you in your private practice, head over to Instagram. My handle is @theprivatepracticecoach. And also, if you want more inquiries and referrals for your business, let me know. I have a program called Clients on Demand that opens every quarter, and I can absolutely get you some information for that as well. You are doing an amazing job. Thank you for sharing your gifts with the world. Bye.